Social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. Let me tell you a story. I'm over here just minding my own business, sitting here in the studio, reading through the 115th commencement of Morehouse College graduation commencement, just minding my own business, being an alum, just doing alum stuff, reading stuff, minding my own business. And I get a text message from that no good for nothing Kevin Briggins. And Kevin Briggins says this. What does he say? Jay Witt, what are y'all doing over there at Morehouse? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm over here enjoying this very nice polo that I got, by the way. Shout out. I love it. I'm over here just minding my own business. Like, what is he talking about? Like, what's going on at Morehouse? It's summertime. Like, nothing is going on at the house. What are you talking about? And then it hit me. I said, wait, commencement. I'm like, no, surely we're not misbehaving at commencement. I hadn't heard anything, but then I realized that my group me from my alumni association had been turned off. I muted it. And I didn't know that we had some, dare I say, some shenanigans happen at Morehouse's commencement. I want to talk about this because though I esteem Morehouse and many people see Morehouse as a beacon, if you will, in the community, so on and so forth, Morehouse is chock full of ignorant silliness, as just like anywhere else. So we're going to look at this clip here, and it's kind of circulating. I ended up having to call a couple of my brothers because there was some problems in this that I didn't know why we were doing this. Like, why did this happen? And I'll explain it in a second, but we're going to just play the clip and feel free to, you'll probably see the problem pretty quick. Especially, matter of fact, if you watched last year, I live streamed Morehouse's commencement where Joe Biden came to speak. And you'll notice a big difference. If you watched that one last year, or if you've watched any other Morehouse Morehouse commencements, you'll notice there's something drastically different. I don't want to say wrong, but drastically different about this graduation. Let's go.
His Majesty will address you now. My name is Micah Townsend Ingram, biology major, and I approve this message.
Jordan Xavier Christian, communication studies major.
Adaye Henson, communications major, Sacramento, California. Schleck.
Salula, Gabriel Selassie, Taylor McNeil, business administration, magna cum laude. Go Birds! Go Birds!
Kennedy Johnson, political science major, cum laude.
My name is Ikeno Ojewe, a.k.a. Mr. Too Sneaky, a.k.a. 234, firstborn Nigerian legacy from PG County, Maryland. And magna cum laude.
I was going to get up here and act the fool, but game on me. Ali Sohor Jr., dual degree engineer with a focus in general science and civil engineering. Cum laude, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You know how we do this, man.
My name is Pierre No Rice. I am born in Atlanta, Piedmont to be exact.
We have, and we putting BTA all 2025. Let's do it.
My mama, give it up for Sierra. Clap it up for Sierra.
Julius Tavon Brown from the DMV Business Administration, summa cum laude.
All right, so that was the I want to say the highlight, but it was the low light of commencement on 2 Sundays ago. Let's talk about it real quick. All right, number one, right off the bat. Most of the time, pretty much, this is one of the rare instances that I've seen in my 26 years of being an alumni. I think I saw once while I was at school where they had commencement inside. They will have commencement outside in the heat, in a monsoon, as long as it's not what? Lightning. And sadly, on commencement day, they had a lightning storm. but it wasn't planned appropriately. I don't know why, because usually the Atlanta weather, I mean meteorologists, they work overtime. I don't know why we didn't know that there was going to be a lightning storm on Sunday. And so they started commencement outside on the lawn. And regretfully, this shenanigan happened. And I mean, the lightning, it became a lightning storm. And then they went ahead and quashed it and moved in another direction. And we know that they were outside because a lot of these brothers, if you notice, a lot of their hats are like pressed down and flopped and stuff like that. That's because they got soaked outside. Those mortars don't last long in the rain. If you've ever watched a Morehouse a Morehouse graduation outside, them brothers' hats is just completely folded over. Well, this is what happened. Those guys were outside. It was not intended for them to be inside. So therein is part of the problem. So there was a little bit of shifting and all that kind of shenanigans to get brothers inside. Some of the family that came were, because it's almost open seating. Well, it was open seating when I was there. So I'm sure a lot of the family that had come for graduation were not able to get in because there's only so many seats in King's Chapel. So you had to sit the 300, 400, 500 brothers that are graduating. Plus, I mean, they have the premium seating, and then everybody else just got to get in where you fit in. That's not a lot of seats. So they had a little bit of kerfuffle with that. And there's a little bit of change up from that. But I think the biggest problem to me that I don't understand for the life of me, when I graduated from Morehouse, you got your graduation packet and all that kind of stuff. And in the packet was a card. And on that card was the proper pronunciation and spelling of your name. So mine said, as I can see here in my 115th year commencement program, it said Jason Terrence Whitaker. And you would give that card to the MC or mistress of ceremony, whoever's reading out the names, and allow that you give it in the card. They say your name, you walk across stage, get your card, get your diploma, you shake hands, your degree, you shake hands, you take a picture, and you walk off the other end of the stage. For the life of me, and I've called 4 of my brothers to ask them, why did they allow these guys to say their names? Because we see that this isn't actually all of them. I watched commencement, I watched this part of the ceremony on the actual video. It's actually, there's a lot more foolishness than this. And I don't know why they did this. I have no idea. This has to be the first time I've ever seen them allow the brothers to say their names. The reason they don't allow the brothers to say their names is because of what we saw. This is not indicative of Morehouse at all. Morehouse has problems. Morehouse has problems. This is not the height of its problems. Oh, these guys up here saying crazy stuff at commencement. That's not the worst thing. Trust me. Trust me. If we triaged it, this is probably not even the top 20 of problems at Morehouse. This is just, sadly, I think this was some poor management. I don't know what in the world possessed them to allow these gentlemen to say their names at commencement. I have no idea what were you thinking? I'm going to be interested to hear what were they thinking to allow them to do this, and all of the things that have ensued because of it. Like, why did you do that? You still would have had an MC or a mistress of ceremonies if you were outside. Am I right? Because you wouldn't have let them do this outside. Then why did you not? Because of course, one of the things one brother mentioned to me, he said, hey, well, when they made the not mad dash, but when they shifted it from the yard to King's Chapel, brothers got out of order, which makes sense. I mean, you're in alphabetical order. And then, of course, now you're probably not in alphabetical order. That would make perfect sense. No problem there. But then I asked him, I said, well, what about the name cards? He said, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. If you didn't have the name cards, it would have fixed this problem. It's still, it comes across to me like they didn't give them name cards to start with. This is not reflective of Morehouse. I'm just going to say that. Now, again, I will stand right there, 10 toes down, dearwokec@gmail.com. We can meet in the front yard, in the back. We can meet in the alley, wherever you want to. This is not indicative of Morehouse. What we're watching here, sure. These gentlemen, they're happy to get out. Sure. It could be so much worse. Let me tell you this, first of all. It could have been so much worse. But because they generally don't even allow this type of shenanigans. So this is the most shenanigan rich commencement I've ever seen, truth be told. But just in defense of Morehouse, and I try to be fair because I support Morehouse. I care for Morehouse. I have a fantastic history with Morehouse. I have very little bad to say about it. I have lots of things I believe need to be corrected, lots of things that need to be changed, need to be reevaluated, need to be upgraded, that kind of stuff like that. But this right here, albeit is pretty silly and such like that, it is not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not. And these brothers just letting off a little bit of steam. Okay, but we could have fixed this by just I hold the administration responsible. Because you can't tell me just because we moved inside, now we had to let the guardrails off. Well, where's the name cards? You could have resolved this with name cards. It would not have been this problem. So why did you not have name cards? That's not on these brothers. That's on y'all. Now, you could have also told them, hey, y'all misbehave like that. When you come across the stage and say your name, you better just say your name, because otherwise you might be walking across the stage without your degree. I mean, that's how they threatened us when I was there. That's how they threatened us. So I don't understand why they did not hold these brothers accountable and just well, first of all, set them up for success. Where's the name cards? But then second of all, hold them accountable. Like, y'all don't come across the stage acting ridiculous. Look, everybody's gonna be watching us. The whole world's gonna see. Because I was sent this by somebody who don't go to Morehouse, who's not an alum, who's not house, who don't care about us, and we displayed this to them. I mean, this is a whole YouTube clip, what's a YouTube short that somebody made of just the shenanigans of graduation. And this is not us. This is not us at all. So I just want to make this real quick and say, though I disagree with how this came about, I understand why it came about. Because it was a dumpster fire. I'm sure it was a dumpster fire when you have all these people outside and it's raining. And again, they will have graduation in the rain. They will have it in the rain. They will have it as in a heat storm, whatever. They will not have it in lightning. So they just did not plan accordingly for the lightning. So administration kind of dropped the ball there. But I do want to, before I leave, actually, as I leave, I wanted to show you maybe a better look at what Morehouse graduation, what Morehouse is, because this is counterculture. I believe that we don't have to embrace everything in a culture and say that that's all of us, because that's not. I don't agree with all of that. I agree with, no, I'm going to pick and choose what I call culture. Some things are just not the culture I agree with. And this thing, hopefully, this will never happen again. Good gracious, man. Please don't tell me you just didn't have the name card. Just tell me you forgot the name cards. That would be, I'll put up with that. But yeah, this is something interesting. This was such an interesting diatribe because people look at this and say, this is the best that Morehouse has. This is not the best that Morehouse has. Not by a mile, not even by a light year. This is not the best. We have so much good. Now we got a lot that we got to work on, lots that need to be ironed out, lots that need to be duked out in the marketplace of ideas, but this isn't it. So anyway, appreciate y'all so much. Down in the comments below, if you stayed this far, let me know what college you graduated from. Do y'all have a logo or an emblem, whatever like that kind of denotes your school? Let me know down in the comments below. I really appreciate it. And by the way, let me tell you where I came from. Grace and peace.
Yeah.